How the devil? Oh yeah. Whoa. Right. I'm actually quite excited for this one today. So Fosi Audio have sent me their new P3 preamplifier. Now this will go with the Fosi Audio V3, which I've got tucked away just here. There it is. Hello. And as with the V3, this is being crowdfunded. So they're hoping to get some funding together to make a preamplifier to complement the V3. Now the V3 was very successful. Now I don't think the P3 has been released yet, so I'm lucky to have this. Now it may or may well not be that the specs I have with this will be the same as the one that's going to be released. I don't know, because actually on the website it says that the specs may change, the specs may vary to what's on there at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see. Ooh. Anyway, let's get this sucker out of the box. And here it is. Ta-da! Anyway, let's open the box. Stop messing around, Mart. You dick. Anyway. Let's have a look. Right. We've got the obvious instructions. There you go. Right. You got the power supply. I think that's a 12 volt 1.5 amp. Let's have a look what we got there. I think that's all it says. At the bottom there, 12 volt 5 amp 1.5 amp. Here we are. Standard power supply. Now it looks like it has Bluetooth. I don't think it'll have Wi-Fi, but because that's a Bluetooth aerial there. Right. You got the valves here because it's a valve preamp. Ooh. And then we got the amp itself. Let's have a little look at this. That's where your valve's sitting there. Right, what we got? We got music to my ears. Got a center indent. Perfect. I love it. So treble there, bass there. It's got a headphone jack. Flipping heck. We'll have a look what ohms that can handle, what power that puts out in a bit. Volume knob. Toggle switch on, Bluetooth off. And the back. Okay, we have RCA in, RCA out. Then we have an auxiliary out as well. And that's obviously for the Bluetooth aerial. Bluetooth aerial, what am I talking about? Obviously, that's the power supply. And that's the Bluetooth aerial there, where that screws on. There you go, okay. Right, let's have a little look at the specs on this, or what they're going to be. Okay, so this Bluetooth aerial comes in handy. I can use it as a pointy stick. Point. So what we got? So the RMS power, this has got to be for the headphones. So it's 250 milliwatts at 16 ohms, 150 milliwatts at 32 ohms, 32 milliwatts at 250 ohms, and 20 milliwatts at 300 ohms. And the headphone impedance is 16 to 300 ohms. Not bad. It's got Bluetooth and RCA. Output RCA, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, auxiliary out. Signal to noise ratio 103 dB, dynamic range 104 dB, total harmonic distortion 0.02%, noise floor, what's this, crosstalk, blah blah, frequency response 20 to 20 Hertz. The Bluetooth chip is a QCC3031 by Qualcomm, Bluetooth version 5.1, okay, that's not bad, and the Bluetooth codecs. Now forget about these first two, aptX, aptX HD, and aptX low latency. Come on, that's music to my ears. Fan-flippin-tastic. Well done, Fosi. Okay, it comes with 5654 tubes, and it says made in the USA. Now, I don't think these are going to be fake ones. I think they actually do something in the amp, unlike some other manufacturers, but I do think these are genuine. Okay, before we connect this up to the V3 and have a little listen to it, we've got to have a look what's inside, haven't we? Just have to, yeah? It's got to be done. Anyway, let's take it apart, have a look inside. Now, I will say, you do if you want to get inside this, I wouldn't recommend going inside it. I'm only doing this for the video. But if you do, you have to take these knobs off. They're very hard to get off. You don't want to mark them, so I had to cover them up with a bit of cloth to pull them off with the pliers, because I didn't want to mark up the knobs. And you've got to undo these bolts here, then undo these little Allen key nuts at the back there then. So let's get it apart and have a little look. So I'm going to use little pliers here to undo these. Okay, so here it is. Now be aware, this is not the completed product. Like I said earlier, and it says online that the parts may differ. This is just a prototype model I've got here, I think. So some of the parts may differ in the finalized product. So here, there, and there, you've got the N5532 op amps. Just here we got the Bluetooth module here, module, okay. Now, that there is not the Qualcomm chip. That's the proprietary Fosi Audio chip. Now, you scan that QR code, it goes to nothing. So I think that the finalized product will have the Qualcomm chip in it. But this looks like a Fosi Audio Bluetooth chip there, because they haven't completed the product yet, like I said. So more than likely, that is going to be a Qualcomm chip there. Over here then, you've got your Omron G65-2, I think it is. These are some relays there. And over here, where is it? There, okay. That is the HT97220 headphone amp, right there. And when I look at these, the tube inserts here, now they look genuine because when you look at them, they track. If you can see, they're actually tracking from here where they're soldered in, and they're tracking to these caps here. So this one's tracking there, and that one's tracking there. So I do think they're genuine, and they actually do something. Okay, let's get it back together. Okay. I got it back together all fine for you. All right, it's all working good. I've been testing it via my headphones, okay, and through the V3 and via the Bluetooth as well. And I have to say, it's all pretty good. Very impressed with it. Let's talk about the line out for the moment, okay? So it has got a 3.5mm line out. And I connected that into my subwoofer. Now, you'll be all happy to hear that the volume is variable. So when you turn the volume up on the preamp, it turns the volume up on the subwoofer. Praise the Lord. There's nothing worse than having to mess around with your subwoofer volume to match the amp. It does my nut, okay? So thankfully, it's a variable, it's a variable volume for the line out. Amazing, okay, I like that. I didn't really use it with the subwoofer. I just put that in just to try to see if it was variable or not. I just use it with my NEW-Brown 5s. And through the V3, via Bluetooth, into my NEW-Brown 5s, tower speakers, sounded great. It's a perfect partner for this. It really sounded good. Very clear, very precise. Couldn't grumble with that at all. The Bluetooth is also very good. Worked well, no dropouts or anything like that. No problems connecting it up. Nothing at all. Really, really good. If I had to make a real, I mean, I'm being really pedantic here, really finicky, okay? But the sound of it, when it comes to the sound, it can compete with the big boys. This combination here, it can hold its own against the big boys, okay? But if you really want to compete, if you really want to, you know, it'd be good to have, you know, the latest aptX, the aptX Adaptive, or even LDAC. Now, wouldn't that be good? But I'm being really finicky. You know, I'm just looking at my wish list if I could have it on there. There's nothing wrong with the aptX HD. It works really well, sounds great, okay? I'm just being really picky. But it'd be nice to see it on there in the finished product. I doubt it will, because I don't know how much that would change the price of it, okay? When it comes to the headphone amp, again, very good, very good. The bass was really punchy. It wasn't like a deep, deep bass, but you can adjust it if you wanted to with the tone controls. But it was very punchy. I didn't need to use the tone controls on it. I kept them at 0 dB. Mid-range, very clear voices, very prominent. There was no cross-talk at all. The stereo separation, that I could tell anyway, the stereo separation was really clear, very good. Instrument side, not heard before. I mean, look, I'm no headphone aficionado, okay? I'm no expert in headphone amps, all right? But I've used Marantz amplifiers with headphone outputs, Pioneer amplifiers with headphone outputs, laptops, which are, nah, okay, and PCs, meh, okay. I've used DACs with headphone outputs, and I gotta say, this is probably one of the best ones out of the ones I've tested. But again, I've never used a high-end headphone amplifier to be able to compare. But in my opinion, the headphones sounded very good. I will say that the top end is quite a bright headphone amplifier, but it's not fatiguing and it's not sibilant, okay? I didn't mind it, I liked it. But if you find it a little bit too bright for you, you can always just adjust the treble. Use the tone controls to take it down a little notch or two. No problem at all. But apart from that, and that's me again being really finicky. It was like, to me, the treble sounded fine. But for some people, it may be a bit too bright if you're used to a sort of darker treble. I don't know. When it comes to powering my headphones, look, I haven't got the most hard to drive headphones. When they're wired, they're 46 ohms, I think they are. And I drove them absolutely fine. I couldn't turn the volume much more up than halfway before I started, you know, getting a bit deafening. So I'd imagine if you got harder to drive headphones, it should do okay. Look, I haven't got a set of 300 ohm headphones to test, but I'm sure in the specs it says you can drive them, and I'm sure it can. Drove my 46 ohm headphones pretty fine at half volume. It's really loud, okay? I couldn't go any higher than that. So, all in all, a very good setup and a perfect partner for the V3, I think. Now, what would be the icing on the cake is to have a DAC to go with these two. Oh, now wouldn't that be nice? Right, nice, with a nice DAC chip in it. So you can have some digital inputs in there as well. And what if it had an ER connection? Oh, come on, Fosi, sort it out. Get another Kickstarter going. Because these make the perfect partners. If you put a DAC in with that as well, oh, that would be sweet. You'd have a pretty good system there, okay? So hopefully, you know, maybe in 6 months to a year's time, they can do another Kickstarter and get a DAC to go with it, with HDMI EOC. Anyway, that's on my wish list. We'll see. But all in all, it's a very good preamp. It's got a lot of good things going for it. I really liked it, and a lot of the times when I get these amps and things, I normally either give them to friends or I sell them and things like that on eBay, whatever. But as you can see, I've kept the V3 because I liked it so much, and I will be keeping this P3 as well. So sorry friends and family, you ain't having that. No way, no how. Anyway, that's come to the end of the video. I'll catch you in the next one.